Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Blaine Cruse, your real estate expert advisor, realtor extraordinaire, and the most electrifying man in real estate. I want to come to you with a quick video to answer the question, I'm buying a brand new home. Do I need to have it inspected? Well, the too long didn't watch version of that answer is yes, you definitely should. You always should. And by all means, yes. So let me expand upon that a little bit further, and I'm going to say this. So most people understand that when they're buying a resale home, one that's had at least one previous owner in it, you should have it inspected. They understand that they want to make sure that everything was well taken care of. They're not hiding any issues, or they may not be aware of any issues. So you want to be aware of what you're purchasing, what the condition is, because you're spending so much money. And really what most people don't realize, because they may be buying the brand new home without a realtor, which is something I definitely do not recommend, but that's another video entirely. But they may not realize that you should have the same concerns with the brand new build. So brand new builds are, yes, if you're buying from the dirt up, no one's ever lived in it. Even if it's an inventory home, no one still lived in it. But here's the rub. These builders all use subcontractors, and they all do various levels of quality work because you don't know where these workers are coming from. Some people use day laborers because they want to keep costs low, or even the best of builders sometimes just have a bad day and do a bad job. And so you want to be sure that you check it out. And again, I'm not picking on anyone at all. It's just a matter of sometimes someone does subpar work, no matter how good they are. So you definitely want to have it checked out. Now, if you're buying a home that you're having built from the dirt on up, I suggest that you have a 3-phase inspection. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit more money in the long run. It's going to save you a lot more money because you've had everything checked out and you want to make sure everything's up to par. But sometimes if you speak with the inspector, maybe they'll cut you a little deal for coming out and doing a 3-phase inspection. But the first phase, the first time you want them to come out is right before they pour the foundation. So they've got all the tension rods and everything's laid out. They're getting ready to pour the foundation, but you want your inspector to come out and make sure everything looks like it's above board and as it should be. Now, the second phase is going to be after that's done. They've done the framing, they've put in the pipes, they've put in the electrical, they've put in the electrical outlets and all that other stuff, but it's before they put in the drywall. Before they hang that drywall up, you definitely want to have the inspector come out and make sure that everything is above board. And the reason why you want to do that is because once that drywall is up, you have no idea what may be going on behind it. So you definitely want to have that looked at then. Now, the final phase of the inspection you want to do is going to be about 2 weeks or so before you close. After everything's been done, finishing touches have been done, you want to have the inspector come out, make sure all the finishes are done, make sure everything is above board, just like you would do in a traditional inspection. Now, let's say you're buying an inventory home, and an inventory home can range from being completed or being in progress. Now, as always, out of those 3-phase inspections, even on an inventory home, I suggest getting as many of them done as possible. In most cases, you're probably not going to be able to have the foundation inspected. You may or may not be able to have the house inspected before drywall is up. So if you can do that, definitely get that done. But at the very least, bare minimum, once it's completed, or if it's already been completed, definitely have that final phase inspection done so that any issues may be addressed. Now, one thing to keep in mind as well is that the builder is going to say, we are definitely going to fix anything that is a code violation. So anything that is not up to builder code, they're definitely going to fix. But a good inspector is going to go in and just point out everything, even some of the stuff that may be superficial, because he wants to be sure you're getting your money's worth. Now, the builder may or may not fix that, but most reputable builders, if they say, hey, there's some paint not done, or there's a chip here, or this is loose, even though it's not built to code or a code issue, the builder who wants you to definitely buy that house is usually going to go ahead and fix it. Now, if it's something unreasonable, I mean, it could go either way, just depends on the builder. It's hard to say, but in most cases, builders, especially if they're reputable, they're going to want you to have a home that you're going to be happy with, and they want to be sure that you go to the closing table. So a lot of times they will fix those issues, but they're not required to. Really, they're only required to fix things that are building codes. Now, here's the rub too, and one thing I want you to keep in mind. Every home sales counselor and construction manager, they're going to sit there and tell you, you don't need to have an inspection done. We have our own independent person come out above the county inspector who checks everything out. And so you're going to be okay. Always get your own. You want to have someone. You don't know who they're using. Find a good inspector. Now, if they tell you that in passing or say, hey, you don't have to worry about having an inspector, we haven't, that's okay. However, if they are aggressive and try to convince you not to, you definitely need to consult your real estate agent, because that's a little hinky right there. And I've actually, even representing some of my clients, I've had a builder and a sales counselor rather in a neighborhood try to convince me and my client that a home inspection was unnecessary. I'm looking out for my client's best interest. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm going to definitely recommend having an inspection. Of course, it's my client's call. Thankfully, she did have it inspected, and of course, the inspector did find some stuff. And an inspector almost always will find stuff. Whether it's a resale or brand new, there's always going to be something to come up. There's no such thing as a perfect home. Now, if at any time, like I said, a sales counselor plays it hard on trying to not have you inspected, I'd definitely be concerned. Now, you may come up with some friends who would suggest, hey, save $300-400, maybe more, maybe less, but save that money. Don't have it inspected. The county inspector is great. The county inspector doesn't care. The county inspector is going to go. They're not going to be as thorough. They're not looking out for your best interests. They're just kind of doing their thing. And I'm not criticizing government workers. I'm sure there's some great county inspectors out there. However, I wouldn't play those odds any day of the week. Anyways, that's going to be it for now. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. Just go to blainecruse.pro. You're going to find all my contact information. You're going to find links to all my social media and my website. So you'll have all these different avenues that you can connect with me, whichever suits your preference. And if you're in the greater Houston area and you're considering buying a new build, definitely get a real estate agent. I'd love to help you out with that. If you're outside the greater Houston market, definitely get a realtor to look out for your needs. If you need help finding one, reach out to me. I have a network of great, fantastic real estate agents I'd be happy to connect you with so that they can look out for your best interest. And in most cases, 99.9% of the time, their services are going to be free because we're going to have the sellers. They're going to have the sellers pay for your service or pay for their service to look out for your best interest. Anyways, take care, and remember, as always, with Blaine Cruse, extraordinary comes standard.